Hi everyone that is watching. My name is Gift Nakainga and I warmly welcome you to this very channel. Thank you so much for making it a point to always come and be a part of our prominent viewers every single time. I welcome you. Make it a point to share, subscribe, call as many as your friends as you can to be in position to watch these amazing episodes or interviews that we usually have. And well, today it's so amazing. I don't know what time you're watching this episode or this interview, whatever time. I know it's amazing, and we do have the most amazing woman in Uganda. Yeah, apparently she's been telling me that everyone is on her neck for an interview. Well, she's just amazing. She's lovely. Yeah, she's exciting, and she's none other than Angela Franklin Katatumba. Yeah, Katatumba. She'll tell me how to pronounce properly that name, Katatumba. Yes, and Katatumba, she's known to be a Ugandan singer, a diplomat, she's a businesswoman, and well, she's a lawyer. And besides that, she's a believer. All the interviews I've watched about her, she emphasizes God. Yeah, there was one I watched and she was like, "Oh, me, I tithe, like I give tithe," and I was like, "Wow." She's a good one. So she's a believer. And without taking more of your time, I would want to request her to just greet us in her voice and tell us more about her in her own words. Angela, I welcome you.
Wow, hi dear.
How are you?
Fantastic. Thanks
You
for
well?
inviting me on the show.
Welcome.
I'm so excited to be here.
Wow, so to our viewers, they would want to hear from you. Who's Angela Franklin Katatumba?
Franklin, very few people know that name.
Really?
Yeah, thanks for doing your research, Munage. Angela Franklin K. Hongani Katatumba.
K. Hongan?
Yes, that's my Runyankole name.
Oh.
My parents, His Excellency Professor Boni Katatumba, who passed away, may he rest in peace. Gertrude Katatumba, my mom, she's the proprietor of AFK Beauty Clinic in Kabalagala. I have 7 brothers. Unfortunately, one passed, Colleen. I have an older sister. She lives in Atlanta, Georgia. I was born in Nairobi, then did primary in Uganda. Then my twin and I and my other elder brothers went to Canada for high school. And then we went to Oxford in England for university, where I did my law degree, economics degree, and master's degree in international management. Then I did, I met an African American when I was singing, because my parents always wanted me to be a singer, to develop my music.
Since childhood?
Since childhood, they
Where did
noticed
you
that I
start
love singing.
from?
Just when I was a kid, playing around with the boys were beating me up. And they would hear me say, before you beat me up, can I just watch my Whitney Houston on Top of the Pops and then you can finish me? So they would be like, oh my God, this girl loves music, So that's when from there, they made sure that at the Katatumba Academy, I joined the choir, and they made sure in Canada, my parents paid $40 an hour every single day after school
For
me to go for vocal training.
Wow, that's amazing.
And then in the UK, it's actually the dean of the university who referred me to a club called Punanas on Cornmarket Street in Oxford. And they're like, oh my God, we have an amazing singer here, because every time we did contests, I won every single one.
You used to be contesting even back then?
Always, when we did singing contests, whatever, I always, hands down, it was now not even a public secret. It was not a public secret, it was public knowledge. Is Angela in it?
Or
it's
not?
A rap, yeah.
Oh, wow.
And so that was throughout, in Canada, in the UK.
Which year was that in Canada?
In Canada, can I remember? Well,
back then,
can't remember. But it was because we went there for high school, so clearly I was still a kid. So every time I'd win the contest, every time I'd sing, I'd win. So the dean of the university is one who referred me to Club Punanas, and I started performing. So that's when my first boyfriend in life, Munange, some African American, gorgeous, 6'4", Munange, broad shoulders, everything. I couldn't
Broad
believe it.
shoulders, 60 feet,
6'4".
6 foot.
Yeah, he was tall.
Wow, he was tall.
And then he was like, oh my God, I love your voice. I love the way you sing. They used to pay me £300 a night to sing every Wednesday at Punana's. And he would come and just watch me.
So you started making money even back
Yes,
then.
in real jokes, because I was doing that like when I was doing my master's. So like like a side job. You know what I'm saying, yeah? So yeah, so he asked me out and then we dated for 6 months. Then he asked me to marry him. I was still in my teens. I was excited. I said, no problem, my first boyfriend. So anyway, my story is very interesting.
Okay, to cut it short, did you get married to him?
Yeah, we got married and then we moved to Chicago. And we lived there because he was from the US.
Wow, that is Angela for you. She has a very amazing it's not like history, but it's
Story.
a story. It's a story. It's not even history because it's still part of our life. It's a story. It's very amazing, and trust me, we shall keep having her here to tell us those stories and episodes. Today, having her on this channel for this particular interview, we really want to connect with her. We really want to learn from her. You know, for I believe every person, there is something you can learn from them. So I'll start by asking Angella Katatumba that what does it take to achieve so much as a girl? For you, like it's like your journey was smooth a bit with the help of the parents, but to a girl that is watching you right about now and maybe they do not have that support from the parents, what does it take for them?
Um, for a girl, my parents brought me up to be hardworking, and it was for me a blessing to grow up with boys, because boys encourage you to do things that boys do. It kind of like it makes you cross the barrier of girls. We just do this, makeup, chill, wait to be taken care of. So it kind of brought out the hustler in me. It brought out the assertiveness in me. It brought out the hardworkingness in me. Because my parents would be like, "What you are doing, the boys are do what the boys are doing." This business of I'm a girl, you know, my mom
It
was always
wasn't
like,
there.
if the boys are going for that meeting, wait for Angela, she's coming. So that training from early, and then they also for the girls, the way I was trained was to be hardworking, to be fearless. You know what I'm saying?
What do you mean if you
A
said
lot of
to
women
be
fear
fearless?
to hustle, to go and look for money the way guys do. A lot of women, for example, if you go to court, there are like a few of us in court, especially these commercial court cases. You'll find very few women there, mainly men. You know what I'm saying, eh? And of course, it's when you're dealing with court, it's million-dollar court cases and hundreds of millions, eh? But why is it mainly the men? You know, it's good to see. We have more magistrates. We have that are women. We have more judges who are women. It's so nice to see more of them coming up, but the majority are men. Then even us in attendance, you'll find that it's usually the husband of the family or the boys. It's very rare to see the guy.
A woman or a girl coming through to
Yeah,
attend.
so this is how my parents trained me to do that, and I do it easily and comfortably because I wasn't taught to fear them, you know. So girls, for me, I just thank my parents because they guided me and made me realize that in life you need money. You know what I'm saying? Money isn't everything, but everything needs money.
Okay, so like they guided you towards that particular direction of being hardworking and also being money-minded. Yeah, having that mindset of making money.
Yeah, and being independent.
Being independent.
A lot of girls in Africa are raised to be dependent.
Okay.
A lot are raised to
A
be
certain
there.
percentage.
Yeah, but the bigger percentage. The biggest percentage are raised. That's why you have most of these girls saying, "Oh, we're waiting for a man to marry us." You know what I'm saying? I'm looking for a rich man to take care of me.
Yeah.
You have the majority of parents teaching girls to go cook, you know, be domesticated, you know, be a good girl so a man can come and take care of you. So a lot of them are being taught this dependency,
So
which I was lucky enough not to have been taught to depend. I was taught to be a breadwinner, also look for the money.
Since your childhood, you've been looking for money. You've been hardworking since childhood.
No, since childhood, I'm lucky enough that my parents were wealthy.
Well off, yeah.
Honestly, we thank my mom and my dad because they gave us everything. So there's no business I've started. I wouldn't claim I wouldn't claim anything. You know what I'm saying? But they just taught me to, for example, like my dad with my brothers taught us to, in the event of my papa's passing, which happened, he trained us and put us in place to run the properties efficiently, to make money, to handle the court cases, so that when he passed, it was heartbreaking, yes, but at least he already trained us.
So sorry about that.
Thank you, sweetheart. May he rest in peace. So it wasn't like, oh my God, what do we do now? What's happening? And the girls are like, oh my God, now who's going to marry me? You know what I'm saying? Who's going to take care of me? So much as they gave us everything and they sent us around the world and took us to the best schools in the world, they also trained us to take care of their properties so that there is some continuancy of the legacy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you've mentioned that when you go to court, you would only notice that a few ladies come through. Usually men come through more than ladies. And well, if we take a picture of what the educational system is like in Uganda, the education sector, it's like women are meant for particular courses or for particular things.
Why?
I'm asking, so what do you have to think
You see what
of
I'm
that?
saying? That takes me back to the majority of women in Africa are still being trained to be dependents, are still being trained to be like, no, you can't handle this, the guys can handle this. And that is what I thank my parents for, because they didn't bring that separation in the house. They said, you're all our children, we love you the same, we all want you to take care of the properties, we want you all to be educated. Otherwise, they would have said only the boys should go to Harvard and Oxford, Angela stay around and learn vocational domestication. You know what I'm saying? They didn't do that. And I thank God for that. So all that starts from the parents, it starts from home. Or from our parents guiding the girls to be as assertive as the boys, be as hardworking as the boys.
So you believe
and
here
to take
in
those
Uganda?
courses. Which course is masculine? Which one isn't? That's news to me. Actually.
I don't know. Of course,
Which ones?
because you can be in class and then they tell you for biology, it's for a girl to do biology, to do chemistry, to do this particular maybe course, going in for law. It's maybe
that is
men.
news to me. That is news to me.
Well,
and
this
thank
is the
God-
society in Uganda, but there is a person out there, a girl that is grown up in such a society,
Yeah.
and then they are thinking, I'm just meant to get married.
You see?
Maybe after my first course, just go and get married,
That's
then
crazy.
be taken care of. So what do you have to tell such a girl that is grown in such a setting with a mindset of after your first degree, go in for marriage?
I would say as women, we have to value ourselves more. As girls, make sure you educate yourself as much or even more than the boys. Because they say when you educate a girl, you've educated a nation. You know what I'm saying? So girls are so powerful because you're going to reproduce and you're going to, pass that education on to your kids. You're very, very important and very powerful. So there's no reason why women or girls should take a back seat. That's taking a back seat in life. You know what I'm saying? So I would encourage those girls to push themselves harder, challenge themselves more, and just avoid being dependents. Avoid planning your whole life to be taken care of by a man, because as you can see, the majority of marriages around the world, not just Uganda, don't work out. Talk about me. I'm divorced. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of them just end up in that. They just disappear in that. Oh, she was the wife of this one. She did. Things didn't work out, and then they left
just
the home, and then
happened,
she became nothing because the parents didn't educate her, because they knew she was the girl going to be married off. So as a girl, try to make sure you have backup. Yes, it's wonderful to be married. It's wonderful to have a love of your life, but it's also planning, because unfortunately life happens. None of us expected to be divorced, but always plan, pray for the best, but plan for the worst. So girls should, yes, if you're lucky to find a rich man who loves you and is there for you forever and ever and will treat you like a queen forever, that's what we all want, amen. But in the event you can't find
fails,
that, work, hustle, make your own money. You know what I'm saying?
I like that.
Yeah.